This virus has really affected we footballers.
The COVID-19 has really ravaged football.
Packed match venues, thrilling actions, the euphoria and excitement around the Ghana Premier League had reached a crescendo. Across the various game centres, supporters tripped in their numbers to watch the rejuvenated Ghana Premier League. Kotopen Hearts had recorded historic turnout at Accra Sports Stadium, and the football churned out by both teams was worth the hype. Bring Back the Love, a campaign launched by the FA to reignite interest and passion in Ghana football, was making giant strides. From Takwa to Doma, the Ghana Premier League fever was everywhere, and the rejuvenation agenda by the FA was on course. Neti, Yahaya and Adebayo were some of the star names, and Ghanaians were happy that their football was finally back. Then disaster struck. From its genesis in the Chinese province of Wuhan, the novel coronavirus had found its way to Ghana, with the country recording its first 2 cases on March 12. 3 days later, President Akufo-Addo announced a ban on all forms of social gathering, and that was the beginning of the end of the 2019-2020 Ghana Premier League season. No social gathering meant that football had to be put on hold indefinitely. Accra Hearts of Oak were on the road with a Week 16 fixture against King Faisal, and Emmanuel Neti, one of their star players, recollects the reaction that greeted that particular piece of information.
We were down considering the form we really hit to that game, so we were very disappointed, but then we just had to take it in good faith and then return back and see what's next.
Before the start of every season, players set targets which they hope to achieve in the course of the season, and Neti is no different. Excelling at Hearts and creating a special bond with the club's teaming fans were his major objectives. Luckily for him, his Hearts career got off to a bright start. Displays against Liberty Professionals had made him a favourite of the fans, and he was being named as a potential Black Stars midfielder. Then came the virus, with all sorts of problems bringing football to a halt. Months on from when the Blacks were pulled on the Ghana Premier League, how has Neti's career and life been impacted by the virus?
I would say this virus has really affected we footballers, because with our game, it is a contact game, and this is a virus you can contract by coming into contact with people who have the infection. So we have been greatly affected by this pandemic. But then, like I always say, it's just one of those things. We just need to pray to God to help us get rid of this, and so we can return back to what we love doing best. One of the disciplines of a footballer is supposed to be your training. With or without football, you just need to keep on training, because you don't know when the time is going to be. So you just need to prepare to wait for the time, not to wait till the time is in there before you try to prepare. So it's just been training. Before, with the lockdown, it was just indoors training, but then after the partial, we had the chance to return to the field to be doing some group trainings with few of our colleagues. So that's just been keeping us for now.
With no games and regular training sessions, the normal has to give way to the new normal. Coaches must now find alternative means of monitoring their players and ensuring that they don't gain excess weight. They must try different things, upgrade their knowledge, and most importantly, build bonds with these players. Video conferencing softwares have become the preferred choice for coaches and club owners who intend to keep in touch with their players. So how has the virus affected coaches and administrators of the Ghana Premier League clubs?
The COVID-19 has really ravaged football and the entire world. We have been badly affected, in fact hugely devastated, because for us at Dreams FC, we believe in developing players. We are a selling club, and because of the COVID, business has stopped. We have to pay the players every now and then. Close to 14 weeks, I think, since the president made the first address, that was 15th March, I remembered vividly. And ever since then, we've not been able to have any interaction with the players. But having said that, we've also drawn planned for them to do self-training. We also organize the Zoom. So yes, there has been negative, but a positive, so far as when Fredomo as a coach is concerned, is that the COVID have taught us how to do things differently. But I think on the whole, I mean, the negatives outweigh the positive.
I think like all the other clubs, the impact has been great in terms of the fact that football is no longer going on. We can't even train. The revenue aspect of things has also ceased because we can't continue the league. So the impact has been great. With football, unfortunately, everything has stopped totally, because for other industries you can still do some business whilst you're home, or you can still work whilst exercising social distancing. But how do you exercise social distancing whilst playing football? And so the impact has been really great, and we're hoping that this problem is resolved as soon as possible so that football can come back.
We have defined this period as transitional period. Transitional period because nobody knows when football will return. Maybe now, because the FA is working very, very hard, assiduously hard to see if we can find a way, a positive way to have the game. But in the meantime, we send programs to the players via Zoom, via the internet, and I have to observe them. So I always ask them to send, they have to send a short video of themselves training. It has not been the norm. I must be very, very honest. But in the meantime, we have to adapt to the new norm.
Every month you have to come up with a sum of money that you have to give out without knowing where the next money is going to come from. And so for the drain, I think we are all every industry is facing that drain. For how long we can continue to do that, honestly, I don't know. But we are thinking about the well-being of our players. We want to try and support them the best way we can. So definitely, if we're not, it will get to a point we might not be able to pay the full salary, but if this, upon discussion with them, we can come to an agreement so that we give them something that will sustain them whilst we wait.
I have missed, game. I've missed the defeats. I've missed the wins. I've missed the emotions. Every now and then, I have to drive to the Equiapim range to organize the players, to arrange a daily, weekly session after game, before game, team talk. I've also missed, press conferences. I've mixed banter with the opposing managers, the fans, the emotions and the passion they bring to the game. I've missed all of that, and it has never been normal. I must be very, very honest.
The calendar of every sporting activity was shattered by the pandemic as competitions either had to be scrapped or postponed. The losses incurred from these decisions are estimated to be in billions of dollars. So how has the virus affected the Ghana Premier League? Henry Asante-Chum is the spokesperson of the Ghana Football Association, and he explains how their product has been impacted by the virus.
It's been a major hit to the industry, monetary-wise, psychological-wise, and some other factors, because at the end of the day, there is no football activity. You make projections before the start of every season. There was a reason why the FA took a decision to invest in the finances of the clubs. You remember before the start of the season, the FA decided to, part with about $400,000 to help these clubs reorganize quickly for us to start the season. It was in anticipation of the FA getting a headline sponsor in the course of the season. I must also put on record that the marketing team was working very hard to get us category sponsors, and some companies expressed interest in coming on board, but unfortunately the season had to be suspended because of COVID-19. You look at the investment that has gone into the season. I mentioned, parting with $400,000 already. Our partners also invested heavily in this product. I am talking about NASCO. Also, I'm talking about Start Times. It is not easy to produce a football game in our part of the world because we had gone through a patchy fall in the last 2 seasons. We also needed to speak to MTN to continue their sponsorship with us for the FA Cup, and that also did not come cheap. And so you look at all these factors, you make projections, and to be able to run a smooth league season, you need not less than $3 million to be able to run a smooth league season where all stakeholders will be satisfied, where you will finish the season and also be able to organize your post-season activities like awards nights, like magazines, like brochures and all that, to culminate a complete season. And this is where we are. We had projections, we made projections. It's hit a snag in the middle of the season. And so it has been a very, very challenging period for the Football Association.
Just ended European transfer window was devoid of the regular big money moves due to the coronavirus pandemic. In Ghana, the major source of funding for most of the clubs are gate proceeds. But with no football played since mid-March, what shape will the transfer window take in Ghana? Abudu Hayate is a renowned player agent, and he talks about how the Ghanaian transfer window will look like.
It is not only Cheetah FC, a Division 2 club or a Division 1 club. It is a whole system running from the top Premier to the bottom. It's going to be very, very difficult to move players. Now, what will happen here is, if you have to travel, it will probably get to a point that you need to bring COVID-19 test result as one of the requirements for securing visa. So I think it is going to take probably about a year. That is if the COVID is going to go off anytime soon. It's going to take probably about a year for us to be able to get players going out.
For players in the Ghana Premier League, the bite of the virus has been severe. The lack of funds has resulted in some clubs either slashing salaries or not paying at all. In this difficult situation lies an important lesson. And Yusuf Chipsa, an executive of the Professional Football Association of Ghana, details how players can mitigate the impact of misfortunes like the coronavirus in future.
These are the same advices pieces of advice that I've been giving to my boys. Just consider yourself as coming to the end of your career with this COVID-19 thing. You've just ended your career. What is next? How is the future looking like? How is your savings? Have you saved enough to create another career for yourself after your playing career? So this is the time for the players to start investing. Invest your money safely where you have control. Don't go into an investment where you don't have control or you have no knowledge about it. If you have to go into such investment, then make sure you have professionals who will manage that investment for you. But for me, it's best to save your money and then whenever you are ready to do proper business that you have control or you can control, then you go into it.
Well, I think Bring Back the Love has come to stay. Unfortunately, it's died down a bit, but one lesson that I have learned in marketing is to be consistent. The only way you can sell a product is through consistency. You also need to build a certain identity for yourself. The new administration decided to use the Bring Back the Love hashtag to build a new identity, to lead a new course. Unfortunately, Corona has made things, slow, to put it. So maybe after Corona, for now is Bring Back the Love. Maybe after Corona, we will think of something that will interest the public.